recently heard that before the kick that was heard around the world, Miss Sarah Fuller was inspired to go into the Vanderbilt locker room and give these men a speech and ridicule them about not sharing in her enthusiasm about a first down. Now, the video that I made previously about this was relatively tame compared to what I want to say now, because the things that are going on in this country, the way that they're trying to twist masculinity, the way that things are that are being manipulated and sold to us, and we're digesting it is gonna make this country sick. And the only reason why it has become like this is because men and boys have become so feminized that they believe that it's their duty to celebrate this vaulting of bullshit, especially when it's done on their own backs. Now, it wasn't that this girl thought that it was a needed thing for, to be inspired and build team unity. All the things that she said were completely true if you were dealing with a bunch of women that were playing soccer. But a football locker room is completely different than a soccer locker room. Those athletes are monsters. Those are apex predators. They're not feminine little boys out there running and kicking a ball. They're out there kicking one another's asses. And this Amazon that's never played a down a fucking ball, especially in the SEC, is going to go in here and tell these men how to do something. And the fact that happened, it sounds like I'm blaming her. But children only do what the adults allow them to do. And that's the way that I view women in our culture today. Most women, not all of them, but the good majority of women are just simply entitled fucking little girls. They've been allowed to invade men's spaces and destroy things that were masculine while putting on the big boy clothes and trying to pretend to be what the men were, while vilifying men for having those natural attributes. And we're fucking allowing it. Now, this is the problem that I have. With this Sarah Fisher fiasco, I'm sure it was just a publicity stunt by the coach because he was such a shitty coach that they were 0-8. They were losing the game. And he needed something. He needed to try to get some points. And so he got the big, pretty white girl and let her talk to his athletes. And the only reason why any of those dudes even listened to her is because they probably wanted to smash her if they hadn't already done it. Now, I don't know anything about the girl, but I know about male habits and what we think, especially in college. I've been there before. This big booty girl coming in there saying all the bullshit she said, those men weren't listening to her. She wasn't going to boost their morale for anything that they were going to do on the football field. And then they go out there and support her with that horrendous fucking kick. Now, is that her fault? No. Again, little girls are going to do what they're allowed to do. And these motherfuckers allowed her to do that. The right move would have been for those players to take a knee. Instead of taking a knee for stupid shit like BLM or the flag, all of that, take a fucking stand for your manhood. That would have been the move. For any of those kids, any of those young men to take a knee and refuse to be a part of that, they would have had nothing but respect from the men in this country, the real men. But the problem is there's not a whole lot of those left. Instead of dealing with things that will fix masculinity, like women, most men, many in the manosphere, focus on vaginal issues like tabloid things and pointing out the offenses of the female. But the problem is this: the only way that they get away with it, the only way that OnlyFans works, the only way that the simp machine works is for men to be complicit. The only way for girl power to continue to have engine power is for men to facilitate it. Women aren't going to pay to watch these chicks steal men's roles in movies. That's not what it is. You're expected to do it. You're expected to accept the fact that Wolverine and Thor and everyone's going to turn female now because we're going to build a nation of Amazon power. And men, instead of them being able to compete and actually conquer a real man, men are subdued and made into just sidekicks, goofy oddballs that are too stupid and need a woman's direction. And instead of calling bullshit, instead of saying, fuck this, man, oh, this is good, oh, we gotta make sure that they're strong. The men who raise daughters with this fucking delusion, you're complicit as well. If women want equality, they should earn it. Not show up and believe that they're supposed to just be given a position, given accolades just because they desire to enter into a man's space. Oh, I'm here. I'm going to do the minimum of fucking work, and I want you to give me the maximum attention, the maximum reward. And we fucking do it. We keep submitting to these insane fucking claims of income inequality and all of these things that are launched towards men, all of this vile shit that we're supposed to be, all of these terrible things that we are. They don't need men. It's time for men to give them what they keep saying that they want. Tomi Lahren made that video a while back saying that men were trash. Well, this is what I gotta say. When you look across the body of women that are available in America, young and old, you see a lot of trash. You see a lot of trash. Single mothers with multiple fathers of multiple kids. Losers that are banking off of child support and state support, but they're independent, strong women. All of this bullshit, all of these narratives that are created to beat men down and vault women up, make men expendable and make women priceless jewels, while they simply do nothing but are born female. Because she's a woman, it's all powerful until that narrative can be shifted to have another Trojan horse to bring in another agenda. And then, if it appeals to the woman's agenda, or if it looks female, then it's acceptable. This is fucking insane. This is insanity, and men are the reason why it works. Because of our thirst for women, because of our desire for validation from these women, because of our attachments to our mothers and the training of our moms to have us to be the perfect little man for them, many of us are marching to a death drum that we don't even hear, believing that we're doing something different because it looks a little bit different, but constantly talking about female nature while you are feeding it and just giving the conversation, even putting your focus on them. That's feeding a narcissistic need that has overcome women and our culture in general. How do you fix men? How do you fix men? Step one is to go a route that goes within yourself for validation. Make sure that you validate yourself before you go out seeking validation from trash. You've got to get your shit together, especially with what's coming to our country, with what's coming to the world, with all the machinations that we got going on. You are going to have to stand up and be a different kind of man than you've ever been, ever. And focusing on what the snake does is not what you need to do. Fortify yourself against the snake. Stop supporting the breeding of more vipers. I'll tell you something that is indicative of the problem. The twerking video in Dallas with all the Shaniquas in that establishment that was meant to be upscale, grabbing the table and the wall and doing that ghetto shit. That right there was inappropriate on any level. On any level. And a lot of people that are making content on it, they're focusing on the black side of it. But that's not just a black thing anymore. It's an attention thing. We have deified whores. We've made being call girls, strippers, pole girls. We've made it to where they think that it's the sexiest shit in the world. It's not just the sisters that are doing it. These girls are at a gun range, a well-established gun range, and they think this is appropriate activity.
Really good.
Twerk.
I will not tolerate this kind of insubordination. Take that woman to the infirmary.
She's on sale.
No.
I'll buy that for $1.
Now, why do they do this? Why do they act like that? In their minds, they are cute. In their minds, they look cute. In some disgusting way, they believe that acting like that gives them some sort of value, and it does. What it does is it lets the guys that they're interested in being interested in them know I'm a hoe. That's all that is. Classy women don't do that. You don't see classy women wasted on a dance floor, dropping their ass, trying to make their ass cheeks pop like a stripper in Atlanta. But these girls feel like this is appropriate behavior. The only reason why they do that is because men have applauded it when they do it. Now they act like fucking children and applaud one another in their own dysfunction. And then get mad at the man for saying to them what their fucking daddy should have told them. But you can't tell them shit. You can't tell women shit because you're just a man. So I say this. Stop telling them shit. Stop telling them shit. Stop dealing with them in a sense where you're giving them any sort of validation. Anything that they expect from you, do not give it to them. Stop holding doors. Stop being kind to women who expect you to be kind for them just for the sake of them being in possession of a vagina. Start making women earn your respect instead of giving it to them freely because they're entitled to it just from being born female. Take away your attention, take away your time, take away all the resources that you gladly throw upon them because they don't fucking need it and they really don't deserve it. If it's a quality they want, give them the equality that men have. Give them the equality that me and you have, the equality that me and you know. The equality that doesn't fucking exist. Make them earn what they get instead of just giving it to them because they got a pretty package. I can wrap up a whole 13-pound package of dog shit and put all that inside of a Fabergé wrapper. It doesn't change one bit the fact that inside that wrapper is shit. And unfortunately, inside of most women in America, once you get past the surface level bullshit, it's just shit.